That's right, y'all can't hear us. That's right. I didn't hit the button, y'all.
The button has been pushed.
Okay, so we got a whole. Let me tell y'all something. We got a whole new mixing board up in here, right? And so I tried to get all fancy with my brand new mixing board, and I got so fancy. Well, I don't even know how to work this thing. There's a whole bunch of extra buttons you got to push. It has Bluetooth on this thing. Oh, and it is thebomb.com, which is actually fantastic. But trying to learn how to work this thing has been,
I'm sure,
it has been something of the sorts. But hi, you're live with Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello. Hi. Hello. Okay. Well, they probably don't realize that we can actually hear them.
Yeah, okay.
That we can actually hear them. But anyway, tonight, if you want to give us a call at 916-226-9226. If you want to join in on the conversation, I was saying earlier, we are going to be talking about Jussie Smollett tonight, leaving Neverland, R.Kelly, and what R.Kelly's attorney had to say on his deathbed. This brother is in a I don't give a darn mentality, and he let it be known he didn't give a darn because he only have a short time to live. So he just decided to tell it all and spill his guts, and it was juicy too.
Wow. Man.
And it was juicy too. We were just talking about how many of you were affected by social media on the Facebook outage yesterday, Facebook and Instagram. How many of you kind of went through withdrawals yesterday when you couldn't go online and do your favorite tweet, do your favorite post, you couldn't talk about nothing. So we're going to talk about that. And so we're going to be talking about that. Okay, now here's one of my questions, though. Honestly. What were now today we have social media. We have Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. People live by those things. And we're always talking about how our kids are addicted to social media. But what were some of our addictions back in the day? We had some. Now mine was the telephone, if you cannot tell. I like to talk.
The telephone was lit.
Oh,
and see, my punishment was when my mama told me I couldn't talk on the phone. You be like, no! If I couldn't talk on the phone. Now, some people they couldn't go outside. But how many of y'all had MySpace?
I didn't have a MySpace.
I didn't like that. So
you didn't have MySpace?
I had
Hi.
MySpace.
You're live on Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Ashton. I'm calling from Miami, Florida.
Oh, Miami, Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. So what's your comment?
Miami.
Hi. Thank you for calling in.
Regarding Neverland with Michael Jackson. Okay, so in my opinion, let's be realistic. The poor man is dead. He has been dead for years. I give my sympathy to those accusing him, but what are they looking for the police to do now if the man is dead?
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because it's past.
I mean, you can't really arrest a corpse unless they're
right, that part.
going to dig him up and put him in a jail cell.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, you're right. Thank you for calling. And what's your name again?
Ashley.
Ashley. Thank you so much, Ashley, for calling in.
Nice.
Good point.
Yeah, that's the sad part and stuff. I mean, it'll be 10 years in June that this man has been dead.
Absolutely.
Right.
And this young man, it'll be 10 years.
10 years.
That's crazy.
In June. It'll be 10 years in June that this man has been dead.
Right.
And like she said, what are you looking for or what are you after? I mean, first of all, the young man on the show when they went on and stuff and did all this talking, and then of course, what did we talk about last show? You want sympathy? What's the first thing you do? Yeah, cry. And he cried and he boo-hooed. And I'm looking at pictures of how your parents took you over to this man's house and saw you dance.
Right. Hi, you're live on Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Cuz. How are you?
I am good. Who is this?
This is your cousin Trisha.
Trisha from Dallas?
Huh?
Trisha from Dallas? Hey, cousin, how you doing?
Yes.
Charmaine, identify
You
yourself.
look awesome. Oh, my God.
Why?
You look wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you, Trisha. Tell cousin Virginia I said hello.
Family, look at you.
Well, I love
I
you.
want to give a shout out to you and to tell you I love you so much.
I love you too, girl. Tell cousin Virginia I said hello.
I sure will.
Okay, girl, love you. Bye-bye.
Bye, cousin.
Bye-bye.
Family love is so dope.
Okay,
that's
it
it.
is. It's
That's
nice. It's
good.
nice.
Yeah.
Feel the love.
Well, love you, cousin. Well,
Yeah, it was good.
yeah, we have so many topics that we're definitely going to be hitting on tonight. We're definitely going to be talking about Michael Jackson's Leaving Neverland. And Kenny was just talking. So, Kenny, what was your point you were making?
No, my point is the gentleman that was talking about it and stuff made a living off of dancing for Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson found him, nurtured him, created him, trained him, and then he went on to make a living dancing and choreographing for other artists. And now here it is. Like I said, the man's been dead 10 years. This done happened about 30 years ago, and now you're traumatized. Where was you at before? Because you was where was the trauma
Right.
then? Because you sure was getting paid
Well,
very
that's
very
just
well, and now it's like, what are you looking for? Are you not you too old to choreograph? So.
Right.
To be a choreographer. So now you
Right.
looking for money. I mean, what is the purpose? I really feel like this Me Too is taking a left turn, that it's
Yeah,
not
you
focusing
go.
on the right people
Yeah.
it's
Right.
supposed to be focusing on.
Right.
I mean, like I said, you see where they went after the church and they got a pope and they're talking about 30 plus people he done molested or did something to, and the man got 6 years. 6 years. And this has been going on in the church for how many, God knows how many
Right.
years it's been going on.
To current.
Why are y'all not going after the church like you're going after these people? It's like they're picking out particular people that they say, okay, we have a way of getting money, or they have money that's available from Bill Cosby, R.Kelly. Like I said, R.Kelly's wrong. He has a problem. He has an issue. The man was abused as a young man. So you're going to grow up to be an abuser, especially if you don't get the proper help. There were so many people that said they saw the signs, but you chose to ignore those signs. And it just really blew my mind when I watched that show and everything going on. And then to see, the after show when they wanted to talk to people and stuff, and I'm seeing Oprah on there. And I remember seeing a show when Michael Jackson came on Oprah's show, and it was like, oh my God, it's Michael
She
Jackson.
went to his house.
She
That
went
whole
to his
interview.
house,
Right.
interview, everything else. I mean,
She was so in love with the man.
well, like I said, we always take artists or stars and stuff, and like I said, we put them up there with the stars.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's our problem as a society and stuff, is that we see these people and it's like they're doing something more than what we're doing, so that means that they're more special than us.
Right.
But they're human.
Right.
They
I
cry,
need you
bleed,
to live your
everything.
life a certain way so that I can look at your life and I can feel okay about how I'm looking at your life. I can dictate what you.
Now, the only issue that I had is that you went to Michael Jackson so you can actually choreograph his final performance.
Right.
And so
And got paid very well for that.
But the thing is, he was turned down. Michael Jackson chose another choreographer.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Michael Jackson
That's
chose
right,
another.
he did.
But my thing is, if you were going through all this and all these emotions, why would you even ask him to even choreograph? I mean, I don't understand, that whole mentality and that whole cycle. And so the time that you finally admitted is when your sister-in-law says that she had a dream that Michael Jackson molested you.
Right.
A year after Michael Jackson passed, and then that's when you come out, and then you want to sue his estate for $1.5 billion.
Right.
And even after the statute of limitations, when you had every opportunity when he was alive, you
Right.
even took the stand
That's
on
the
Michael
part.
Jackson's
On
behalf.
behalf, yeah.
When he was
Right.
alive,
Right.
you could have put him away then.
Right.
But you want to wait till 10 years after he's gone, and now you want to sue his estate, and now you want to say you were lying then. And to me, it's just very, very, very murky
Well, it all
waters.
comes down to to the almighty dollar.
And
That's-
did you
that's really
read
to me
what
is-
Michael Jackson's assistant wrote
No.
about him? I had put it on my Facebook page.
Okay.
Details.
And, he
wow.
did a very detailed in how his wife wanted him to get a job to make some money. And so I guess right now he's not employable because he had slept with Britney Spears at the time. This is allegedly at the time that Britney Spears was dating Justin Timberlake. And that's where the song Cry Me a River was birthed out of, because Britney Spears has supposedly cheated with Wade Robson.
Right.
And
That's right. Yeah.
and so that's where
Okay.
Cry Me a River
was-
came.
that was the
And
stuff.
then he allegedly slept with Prince's wife, Maite.
Right.
And so he lost jobs because of his loyalty to the people that he worked with and the things that he was doing behind their back. So, so a lot of things. So his career was ruined. And
Got
so,
you.
yeah.
Okay, now
So
that
so
makes
there's a
sense.
lot
Okay.
that was going on with
Okay.
that, but I actually have it on my
Wow.
Facebook page, you know, if
Wow.
anybody wants to read it. So it's definitely interesting. And it was definitely, for me, it was very hard to watch, but this is my thing. And I was always a fan of Oprah and Oprah and her work. But this is the thing. A lot of people are saying, now, if you agree with this, give us a call. If you don't agree, we want to hear from you. Give us a call, 916-226-9226. Do you think that they are trying to crucify our African-American entertainers, or are they doing it to themselves? That's one question. Secondly, why didn't Oprah interview Harvey Weinstein or any of those victims?
Right.
Why didn't she interview any of Les Moonves, who was the head of CBS that had to step down? What about Matt Lauer?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of famous
Didn't Gail
rich
work
white
with
men.
him?
Why didn't you
Didn't
go
didn't
for
Gail
them?
work with him?
Gail worked with Charlie
Charlie
Rose. It was Charlie Rose.
Right.
So why didn't you see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of rich white men that are accused of sexually assaulting or molesting women, but I don't see any of them being interviewed or their victims.
And they're still alive.
But
Out,
yeah, and they are still
Right.
still alive.
You can
But you
still
see the R.
have
Kellys,
that-
the
yep.
Michael Jacksons, all of them are being crucified.
Cosby's,
Yeah,
and
the Bill
whoever else
Cosby.
They can try to pull out.
Exactly, for all the blacks. So that's my question. So basically, are they really crucifying our men, or are they just doing it to themselves and they're putting themselves out there? But the media is not being fair when it comes to black celebrities and white celebrities.
I
Well,
think,
they never have been.
Yeah.
They never have been. I mean, when you look at how, like you said, the sentencing period for a black man is completely different, anyways. Even if you're just not a celebrity,
And even
You know,
Jussie Smollett is
you know,
out there.
You know, like I said, we have a different standard of rules. You know, and then you say that you're supposed to be judged by your peers, but when you look over there at the stand and you look at the
You're
people
not
that are judging
damn
it,
peer over there.
there's none of your peers there. And if there is one over
Yeah.
there and stuff, they're not either in your timeline of understanding what's going on with you or where it is and stuff, or they looking for somebody that's out of touch
Right.
that really can't
gonna
answer,
relate
not
to
going to
it.
relate
Yeah.
to it
Right.
and stuff. So
Yeah.
they're going to
Right.
go with the majority rule.
Yeah.
You know, but again, like you said, where are these folks that like I said, got accused and stuff, and women were pointing at them saying that, you know, I had to sleep or this happened with me when I did this movie with Aaron Weinstein. I mean, where are y'all? Like I said, the Me Too, I don't know, it's just going a totally different direction than I think what it was meant to be, and now it's kind of fizzled out on that side. So now it's like, okay, well, we got all these other stars that were big stars and stuff. Let's bring them down. Because if you really look at it, Bill Cosby trying to get NBC, his son got killed. Tried to get it this time. Now he has this situation. Michael Jackson tried to buy Sony, own the rights to the Beatles. They went after him for that. You know, it's kind of funny how every time
yeah.
we get to a certain level.
But see, my question was, but did we do it to themselves? Because Bill Cosby was wrong as all get out.
Oh yes, he was.
That's why they dubbed
But
him
he,
as
but he
Kill
wasn't,
Bill.
But like I said, he wasn't the only one that was doing that. All those other guys that were doing that during that time and stuff, and they have come out and people have said stuff. They're like, oh, okay, that was them, but we want you.
But it is racially motivated. I'm in my opinion, I'm just going to say it is, because you have people like Elvis Presley and all these different other white artists and rock stars who are messing with girls. What's her name? The Presley girl just did an old interview I just posted on my page of her being 14 and being
Which was
sent to Elvis Presley's house, and all these things were happening. He hipped her to drugs and all these things. Dig him up. How come we not digging him up? And see, that's where my problem comes in. Although there may be some things Bill Cosby he did what he did. We got R. Kelly doing what he doing, but they not the only one, and all their skin isn't black. And that's where I have my problem. So when Oprah, and I think that's what's bothering us too, when Oprah is doing what she's doing and how she did this documentary, it's kind of blowing our minds a little bit. Like, you know,
Right.
She loves some Michael Jackson. I
I don't know if I can say it like this. I want to say, but I want to say it like this, and I hope you understand when I say it like this. It's like the house nigga syndrome. If I can say it like that.
Okay.
So it's almost like, you know, because you got to have your ones on your side.
Yeah, they're
So
gonna
when I
find
see
somebody.
you doing something,
Right.
I'm gonna tell. or I'm gonna be on their side because I'm in the house. I ain't trying to be outside.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's
So
just my opinion.
So do you think the Oprah did not go after the rich, white, and powerful because of maybe what her position is?
And how her money's tied in.
That's how
and
her
that
money's
she-
tied in.
thank you.
Think about it. She
And
has
that
her
she
own
could
network,
personally
but
be
she has
affected?
Discovery.
Yeah,
But she wouldn't be affected by Michael Jackson. But she wouldn't be affected by Jussie Smollett. But she wouldn't be affected by anybody else. But if you deal with a Harvey Weinstein, if you deal with people in those positions, or Les Moonves, you could personally be
It's gonna
affected.
come down
So
hard.
I'm gonna stay away from that.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And that became
That's
very clear.
good.
Literally, we just saw that happen. We're looking at it, and it's like. So I think it is
I think so.
But
I think
to
it
your
is.
point though, yes, they did it to themselves, but yes, it's also unequal in how we look at the prosecution, because it is very selective of who you going after
Yes.
Right.
versus what kind of backlash is going to come my way. And I can see that in Oprah's case, or anybody that's saying, okay, well, they can go after a Smollett or Jackson or somebody, and then it's not going to have any kind of backlash to them.
Right.
And the prosecution is going to be different, but what Kenny was saying, we get, higher sentences, we get longer sentences. And I think even in some other topics, when we go into the college admissions and all of that, wait till you see what sentences they get on that. I bet they won't get barely a slap on the wrist and go move on and brush it under the rug like it's no big deal. So justice is not blind. Justice is very color struck.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of the whole college admissions, they're calling it Varsity Blues with William Rixinger, who is singing. Now, if you don't know who William Rixinger is, he's actually local from Sacramento. He's from here, and he's the mastermind behind it all. Now, who got caught up in this was Desperate Housewives and American Crime star Felicity Huffman, and also Full House and Fuller House star Lori Loughlin. They are among 50 of the rich and wealthy parents who cheated on the college entrance exams, and also to get special sports scholarships to get their kids into schools. Even they did not deserve it, but they even went as far as Felicity Huffman, she's accused of paying $15,000 as her because her daughter could not pass the SATs. And
So she has somebody take them?
And so basically she ended up getting a score. She got a 1420, which was a 400-point improvement over her PSAT score. And what they were doing for some of these students, not sure if it was for her daughter, but what William Singer was doing, he was flying in his own proctors in to proctor the test. When you take the test, there have to be a proctor in there.
Wow.
So the proctor proctor was giving the answers to these particular students, even allowing some of them to even take tests at home. So feeding them the answers.
Right.
So some of these kids were able to get perfect scores on their SATs. And not only that, Lori Loughlin, who's married to, who knows the clothing line of Massimo. It's in Target. So the clothing line is in Target, and they paid $500,000 to have their daughters recruited at USC to be a part of the crew team, which they don't even play crew.
Yeah.
At all. And although her daughters do not even play the sports, they even stage photographs with their kids engaged in particular sports, even pulling stock photos from the internet and photoshopping their kids' faces on athletes.
Yeah,
and
that's
submitting
crazy.
them as part of the application process.
Yeah.
This was deep.
It was
No,
deep.
it was beyond deep.
Yeah. And so Olivia Jade is the daughter of Lori Loughlin. She is also a YouTube star. Now, when she found out the news about her parents and this news broke, guess where she was? In the Bahamas on the yacht with Rick Caruso, who is the chairman of the USC Board of Trustees. When the news broke, because she goes to USC. So that's how she goes to USC.
And they persecute the football team and the players and stuff with the things that they do.
And see, now my daughter, she took the SAT one time and she did the ACT twice. She was so stressed out. My daughter's face was breaking out in hives.
She
and
struggled.
I mean, her stress was bad.
Yeah.
Because it's so much weight and pressure. But then to hear that you could pay money to have somebody take the test for you or feed your child those tests. But this is the thing. I read today that you will not see any mugshots of Felicity or Lori Loughlin at all. Now, as soon as R.Kelly's mugshot was available, it was online.
Yep.
As soon as Jussie Smollett's mugshot was available, it was online. But they said they will not release those women's mugshots.
See,
So here's the point again.
I mean, what we that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the mugshot.
Yeah, we want to see the
Right.
mugshot.
We want to see the guilt.
We wanna
Right.
see the shame. I want to see the
Yeah,
shame.
I want to see the look. I want to see. I mean, it's not.
So is this
I don't wanna
again
see a
another case
Photoshop.
of the white, wealthy, and privileged?
Yes, it is.
All day long.
All day long.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know what's the sad part on the flip side is this? What about the kids that did get a good score
Correct.
that could not get in? That
Yeah.
they took their
Yep.
slot
That's-
because the school only
that's
lets in
it.
so many students.
That's
and
it.
then think about the athletes. There was an athlete that wanted to go to USC that, hey, you know what?
Legitimate.
I want to walk on. I want to walk on and try out for the football team, and I scored good, and I had a better score than these young ladies or these kids and stuff, and because their parents paid money or had
Yep.
the money to pay, they get in. I don't get in. But see, it's
Right.
about prestige and stuff because, like, think about it. You graduate, from Stanford and have that on your resume, and you want to go be a doctor. They're like, oh, you went to Stanford.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you went to East Palo Alto Community College,
Right. Down the street from Stanford.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Literally is.
Thank you for putting in your application and stuff, but we'll call you. Don't call us.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, like you said, it's like how do you even the playing field when the deck is already stacked against you? And that's one thing that as minorities we have to really realize. Even at work, it's your day-to-day job. You work harder than the average. There is a privilege, and I don't care who anybody in the United States says. There is a privilege,
Right.
and some of the people, they take advantage of it, and then there's others that just walk all over it and just ruin it for everybody else.
And what gets me about this too, it was so many people involved at high levels,
Right.
and so this has been going on for a while.
Yeah, this is
they
nothing
felt
new.
very comfortable. It was just like get it down to a system, write a check. What do you need? I also heard that there's a test taker, a professional test taker, would take the test in such a way that in some cases they would deliberately miss some, so they didn't want to alert as having a perfect score on every test. So,
Playing field a
so
little
if
bit.
you got a 1200, okay, we're gonna give you a 14, kind of high to 15.
Yeah.
So the test taker would know and miss certain answers on purpose just to not alert officials to the high score. So they had this thing down,
Right,
and,
right.
They had
and
it down to a
from the
science.
proctors to the admission takers to. And I would even say administrative. Even coaches. Coaches were
they were.
saving spots,
Right.
and so you look at the whole system, and we on the outside of all that.
Right.
We on the outside
Exactly.
of all of that, and still having to compete with it.
This Laura, how do you say her last name?
Laura Laughlin.
She's on a show on Hallmark.
Correct. And they
Right.
just let her go.
Oh, they did.
Yes.
I was going to
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
because
Yes.
I'm watching. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Because my client hit me to the little show. She watches it. And
Yeah,
she
she was let go today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was released from all the shows
Oh, wow.
on Hallmark.
I also
and there's
heard-
in Fuller House too that they're not sure what they're going to do with Fuller House because I think the new season is going to be premiering. But yeah, she was fired.
Oh, okay.
I also heard one of the kids that went to USC of the actors that they dropped out because
They
of
both
fear
dropped out today.
of teasing and bullying and everything else, because they were in. I mean, if
Yeah.
you think about it, if your parents, you find out that you got in, not on your own merits. I mean, everybody else would be looking like, wait a minute, how you got in here?
Yeah, they were afraid of bullying.
Yeah.
So when they just went on ahead and excused themselves and
That
withdrew
is
from the
good.
school.
That is something.
And there was a video that I had seen today, as a matter of fact, that Olivia Jade, who's also a social media star, YouTube star, she had said in one of her videos, she had said when she was going to be out of town, I think she was flying to New York, and she said that she would be returning though for the football games and for the parties. I really don't like school. School was not her thing, but this is the woman that your mom paid $500,000 for you to go, and then you make this comment
yes.
that you don't like school, but yet you go to USC, but you just want to go for the parties and for the football games. So my question was going to be to you all, if that was her attitude and mentality about school, then who's doing her homework and taking tests for her?
Right.
Somebody is.
Yeah.
Because somebody
Because
is.
somebody is.
Somebody is for that degree.
Somebody
degree.
is.
Right. It was going to be a degree that she probably didn't earn.
Right.
And was not going to earn and wasn't even working to earn it.
Ain't that something?
And mind you, she had major brands sponsoring her, major makeup brands. She also had her own little makeup line or like a bronzer line.
Oh, well,
So
my
yeah, so she had her
goodness.
own money
Okay.
coming in as well.
Okay.
So yeah, you know, you got to be careful. Because see, it's so funny how I was like, wow, the rich, their kids don't study either. They
don't.
They're going through with their
Just because,
kids.
no, but just because you have money, that don't make you smart.
It sure don't make you
It
smart.
don't make you smart.
Especially if you can pay your way in.
Right.
You know, they got caught, but I'm sure there's a
does
lot
that
of
make
parents who
so
paid their way
does that
in.
make them the Milli Vanilli of college? I'm just saying.
Good question.
Does that make them the Milli
Good question.
Vanilli?
Good question.
Blame
You
it
know,
on the rain.
I mean, you fake. Well, like you said, a lot of folks say, you know, you fake it till you make it, and that's what a lot of them do.
That's right. Well, if you want to chime in, give us a call, 916-226-9226. We are talking about the college cheating exam. Do you guys know anybody that possibly cheated on their test? Give
But
us
they
a
were
call.
super faking it though. They were like photoshopping.
Yeah, they were serious about that. When you
Right.
take pictures in Photoshop,
Yeah,
and when
yeah.
you get a photographer to take pictures of your child looking
professionally
like,
have your face put on somebody's body and
Yeah, that's
to look like they played a sport, that's some deep stuff
See,
right there.
It make the cheating we did back in the day, back in junior high school and high school,
look,
not much at all.
look,
we got a little
pass you
exam,
a note.
and we got
Pass
some
you a
notes,
note.
and we
Yeah,
try
let
to do
me
a
pass
little
you
Right in my
something.
hand.
Look, you taking a test. Look, you taking a test. Can you see? Did you see? I
Right.
mean, come
It
on.
make our
I
stuff
had
look
stuff
like
all
nothing.
in my
I
hands.
feel like I was stupid.
They was real
Okay.
deep with it.
Hey,
We
man,
went that
I
deep.
mean, you know,
I'm glad,
this is
you
some
you on
federal
Tuesday
stuff.
for you to take this test
Wait a
for
minute,
me
you
on
wear a
Thursday.
skirt. Wait a minute,
Okay.
and with women we wore a short skirt. We write the answers literally
Right
on our
there,
leg,
yeah.
so you could pull the skirt
Yeah.
up. Yeah, we did.
Wow.
We did. We did all. Well, I did all that. Yeah, I did.
Ooh, yeah.
I ain't gonna
Yeah,
say
it
me.
was, yeah, like I
Yeah,
said, it was a
did.
struggle. But
What's some other things you did for cheating?
But this is the cold piece though about the situation though. Their parents
Yeah. You
are
know,
okay with this. They did it.
Some
Yeah.
some
Yeah, they
kids
did it.
And the
what-
kids were like, okay, I can go down for spring break and hang out and stuff because I got a clone in the classroom sitting there taking my test.
I heard
I
it
gotta
true.
take-
I heard it. Let me know if I'm right or not. But some kids didn't know that their parent was doing this and behind the scenes. I mean,
Yeah, some
there was
they
like
thought-
50
yeah, there's
of
some
them,
that thought
but
that
there's
they
some
actually
thought
got
they actually got in.
legitimate. Yeah, I heard that too, and I seen
And
that.
I'm sure that is probably true. Like one little girl that goes to Georgetown, she actually bragged about it. And her father, they're in the Bay Area. They're out of the Bay Area, and she graduated from Notre Dame High School in the Bay Area, and so she bragged about hers.
So what are they calling them again? What's
A
the
Varsity Blues.
Okay, because you remember the Blue Chip movie?
No.
The program. I mean, the movie, The Program. The football players
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think so.
one of the kids that was sitting the pine that didn't even really play much was dating the coach's daughter, and she was in the classroom taking his test.
No, I didn't know that
So
one.
and that movie's from the 80s. So how long has this been going on?
Oh, this has been
Yeah.
going forever. Oh, but okay, you know when they say life in imitating art, I just read an article today that Felicity Huffman in Desperate Housewives, her character actually paid I think $12,000 to $15,000 to get her child into a school, and so they digging up everything. So they were saying how life imitating art because that happened in one of the episodes
Wow.
on Desperate
Oh,
Housewives.
wow.
Isn't that a trip?
Yeah, it is a trip.
Yeah, that right there is a trip.
But
child.
like you were
it's
saying,
like,
Kenny,
try it. What are we
you got the
talking
boosters, you got people to writing
Yes.
checks. I mean, that money at some point is going to influence some admission people when they want a high profile celebrity kid at their school.
right.
That draws more
their
people.
parents, well, like I said, or their parents went to that school
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're like,
They just like,
my
get
child
my
better
child
be
in
getting
there.
in school,
Yep.
okay? Because I done wrote y'all a lot of checks.
Yep.
So what do we need to do to get my child in there?
I'll get
And
you
I'm
some
sure
money.
it happens.
Yeah, get me on the back
Definitely.
end here. So,
Definitely.
yep.
Oh, that
that's-
that alumni money. That's what you
Yes,
want.
that's
Yeah.
it.
It's,
Yeah,
like-
that-
It's that alumni money that you want.
I'm thinking these hands and fingers start.
Well, let's talk about R.Kelly's attorney. Now, you know how when they call them deathbed confessions?
And it's real.
Deathbed confessions are real. So R.Kelly's former attorney finally speaks out because he only has a short time to live because he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And right now he is in a I don't give a darn stage.
Yes,
he
he
could
is.
care less.
Yes, he
so
don't.
his name is Edwin Jensen. R.Kelly's former attorney. He's 77 years old, suffering from terminal cancer. He had an astonishing admission last week. He told the Chicago Sun-Times that R. Kelly was guilty as hell during his first trial. Ain't that something? Guilty as, and you're representing him. He also helped R. Kelly rewrite Ignition. Not to be confused with Ignition, the remix, the very first version that he was going to be coming out with. Jensen said that the original song was about a driving instructor who has a teenager in their vehicle with them. So he said he was appalled by the lyrics and surprised that R. Kelly would be so blatant about his reference to young girls that he advised him to rewrite it. So the original song never made it to the airwaves, and Jensen alleges that he told R. Kelly that the original lyrics would be all that was needed to prove his attraction to underage women.
And he starts off the song, this is the remix to Ignition.
It's the and so it's the remix to Ignition.
Yeah, because there was never a first one that came out.
That's right. That's why he did a remix. So we never heard the first one.
That's the narcissistic mindset.
But here's another thing. His attorney also alleges that Kelly used libido-reducing medications to keep his fascination
down
in check.
Tried to dumb it.
So how deep was that?
But see, this is the thing we all know. He had so many people around him that knowing what he was going through, knowing his struggle, knowing his tendencies, knowing what he was doing, and not saying anything.
Because you know why, Joe? I mean, come on. It's at the end of the day, it's whose name is on that paycheck?
Who is gonna like hold the moral compass and say, listen, man, this ain't right.
There is no moral
compass. These are kids involved.
A check.
I mean, these are kids. I mean, to turn your back on the teenagers and the young girls and to think that's okay is wrong when you have so many people.
Now, there is a girl that I like to watch on YouTube. Her name is Tasha K. Unwind with Tasha K. Now, go back. She did a 2-part piece dealing with R. Kelly and all those that are involved in the R. Kelly case. She did, I think it was in 2018. But go back and watch it because she names names. No, it wasn't in 2000. She just did it because it was after the whole Lifetime thing. So she just did it. She names names and everything because there was a PI, private investigator, that was giving her all of this information. And she also shows photos and how his ring works. She goes very, very deep into details and who does what for R. Kelly. That's why he paid for a lot of things in cash. It was really deep. So make sure you guys go. Her name is Unwind with Tasha K. She does a whole thing with dealing with R. Kelly. And she talks about his whole ring and how his ring is in operation. So she got full details and names. So she's not even doing a hearsay. Well, I heard. She's giving you all the names.
Facts and names.
She's giving facts. She's giving names. And she's doing it very boldly to know that she had true information on who plays what part in R. Kelly's camp.
In his camp and who their roles.
In every role, how they get their clothes from Macy's, who takes them to shopping, who does everything in that entire ring. Exactly. Yeah. It's a full-on system that he has in operation.
The man is not as dumb as everybody thinks, and I wish people would stop saying that this man is dumb. Narcissistic people are geniuses. They start, they're very analytical on how they do things and stuff. They have every detail thought out to precision, and they know how to initiate it. And they get the right people to do what they're doing because those people that work for him are weak-minded because he's saying, here you go, here's this check. Here's this money, here's this cash.
And it's even deeper than that. It's even deeper than the money. Because of his sickness and disease and the kind of what he does, it's deeper than that because he knows how to pick his victims by looking at them.
Yes.
He knows how to navigate around people by looking at them. And so when his brother, here's the other interesting part about R. Kelly, because when I think about this whole situation, I just think about how deep his sickness is. Even for his brother to say, I think my brother liked it when he was being molested by his sister. And so when that rings in my head, and then I pay attention to his behavior, and he don't think nothing is wrong with it. Yeah. And for him to have to take a drug to numb down his sexual drive, almost kind of, for me, makes it true that he liked it.
But here's another astonishing thing that Unwind with Tasha K. She actually reveals that Azriel Clary had, I guess, a breast augmentation surgery to where she even almost dies.
Oh, wow.
But because, all the girls are IDs and everything's with their families, they have he does all this other paperwork. So they really can't go to the doctor. So they literally make doctor's appointments for them. Also, Joycelyn Savage. Now, this is according to Tasha K, not according to me. You just got to watch the show. And how Joycelyn was actually pregnant by R. Kelly twice. Oh. And so there's been abortions done, surgeries done that these girls have had. And, so that's information that she literally got from somebody that used to live in the house.
That's deep.
So it's very deep, a lot of things that were going on, because if these girls, if they're having sex that's unprotected, somebody probably got pregnant along the way. Right. And then when there's girls that he don't want anymore, there's another young lady who moves them out of, there's a certain way that they have to move out of the house, but then they introduce them to like football players and sports players. So it's literally a whole system. So when he doesn't want you anymore, right, so the girls are,
we talked about it before. Remember I said this we're talking about R.Kelly, and it's this. But this whole situation is like,
it's huge.
It's huge, and like you said, it goes through politicians. I mean, it goes a long way and stuff.
Owners, billionaires,
and everything else and stuff.
Explains his protection thus far.
I think so.
Can we say that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, come on. How many parties has R. Kelly done? Concerts, people who have gone backstage that are high profile people that wanted to meet R. Kelly and got in the backstage, and he done talked to, shook hands with. I mean, look how things cross over from, you got artists to sports figures to politicians that are all interacting. I mean, come on now. I mean,
so can we say who in the they people realm did he piss off that they're coming for him now?
It's a possibility. It's a possibility.
Because he has been getting away with it so far. If we allegedly will say that, what she just said about sending the girls to different places, they channel them out, that is helping sex trafficking, which is a very big industry, which is an industry that nobody wants to touch.
No.
We talk about it, but nobody touches it.
No.
So if he's helping that industry, who did he piss off that they're coming for him now?
Well, or the thing is this: he got too big for himself. Because let's be real.
I just think
every time somebody
cockiness got to him,
but somebody that has a certain status, whether they're an actor or a musician, whatever and stuff, when we get to a certain level, they have a tendency on how to push us back down.
But I agree with Marie, because how are these tapes now coming forward? Because according to Tasha K, now there's tapes that was kept at a house, at his friend's house. Who's releasing these tapes? Yeah. Because if he's making these tapes, they're being kept somewhere, because he's doing like all this moving from Florida. He had like 2 houses in Atlanta. Now he's in Chicago. So who is moving his whole plethora of tapes with him? Because he's had tapes throughout the years. Who's moving them? Who has access to them? And who's releasing these tapes? Somebody is releasing these tapes, whoever has access to these tapes.
I would like to think somebody is starting to have a conscience about what's going on, and instead of waiting for their deathbed confession, they say, "Wait a minute, this has been going on too long. I can't stomach this anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and leak this stuff because somebody needs to stop this man, because he's so full of himself and so much of a narcissist that he ain't gonna stop himself."
Right.
So I would hope that somebody within his camp is starting to now, from within, start to put some stuff out there.
Yeah, they can't,
because they can't stomach it, because you're dealing with these kids, and unfortunately, when they come from an environment like that and they go to NFL player, who else, professional players or whatever, the kids have been so beat down mentally, they can't take care of themselves. They're used to being taken care of, and so where are they going to go? Their family probably been long gone, since removed from the process, so they feel like they're alone, and now you're being pushed off to somebody else, and now that this person will take care of you. Just mentally, I just feel bad for these kids that are out there, teenagers now, who they're probably in their 20s or whatever, but where do they go? You know?
Exactly. And one of the things that I find interesting as well, that of course we haven't seen any of the tapes. We don't know who the females are on the tapes, but they're absolutely sure that R. Kelly is on the tapes. I'm wondering if the reason why they haven't revealed any names, of course they were underage at the time, but all these women are now adults. Are they not releasing any names so R. Kelly and his camp do not get to them and manipulate them, like the last young lady, Sparkle's niece? And because the mom didn't come forward, the dad didn't speak, all of them said that was not her, because somebody, uncle, because uncle was a guitarist for R. Kelly. So are they not releasing that because they want to make sure that this thing sticks? So they don't want to. This is just me. Are they making sure that no one gets to these people at all? They want to just keep them.
That would be the wise thing to do.
I think that's the wisest thing to do. The wisest, because fear, because R. Kelly do not want to go to jail. So by all means, necessary, by any means necessary, he is going to stay out from behind those bars.
Yeah.
So if I got to silence you, threaten your family, I'm just saying, don't know if he'll do that. I'm just saying.
I just hope his lawyer sticks around long enough to make that deathbed confession in court. So I would love to see him up in there taking a stand, just on his last words. Just if we can do a little live or something, there's some way to get his testimony before everybody.
Yeah, hold him up.
As soon
as he say what he got,
that again.
As soon as he say what he got to say.
You all right? You need some water?
I mean, just go ahead, just because he needs to come down. I mean, that I appreciate the deathbed confession, but we need more people right now able to testify against him and look him in the eye and point him out. You know how they point you out in the courtroom? Right. Point to the man. You'd be like, right here. I want that to happen up in court.
Yeah. This man.
Absolutely. Well, anyway, if you guys want to give us a call at 916-226-9226, we are talking about R.Kelly. We're talking about Neverland. And also Jussie Smollett, he went to court and he also pleaded not guilty to his 16 counts. Yeah, he had. Did y'all see him walking in there with his George Jefferson walk? Did y'all see him? Did y'all see him?
Funny. I was like, wow. Why are you walking like that?
He was initially charged with disorderly conduct later and then indicted on 16 felony counts. He did plead not guilty in the Chicago court. Now, they did say that the police basically, I guess, lied, of course, about the check because the check was written to the two brothers for training and for a nutrition plan. So, do y'all feel that the police tried to lie and tried to set him up?
With the check? Mm-hmm. You had mentioned the check. You were saying what that might could save him. You did say that last week?
And unfortunately, the Chicago Police Department and a lot of officials in Chicago don't have the best reputation. So that's not a good.
So that's not helping them at
thing
all.
For all for them. So I mean, whether they were trying to just have this a slam dunk case or not, it's definitely not looking in their favor now.
Well, he
lied about this.
Well, when that movie comes out, he needs to go see the movie Us. Because the underlying message on there and stuff is that we are our own worst enemy, and we killing black folks, and he just killed himself.
He killed himself off.
His career's done. He's done. Yeah, turn the page on Empire, partner. Try to see if you can get on Star. I don't know. Maybe you can get on Star.
And I also read that Empire's fate could be in Jussie Smollett's hands. That Empire may be going off. I hope not. I hope that because of what he did does not affect the show. Because it's still a good show. And it'll survive without Jussie. I know he probably didn't think it was going to survive without him. Mm-hmm. I know he probably didn't think so, but it will.
I'm a sister that y'all don't see on there. I be there.
Cookie and Vivica Fox.
I'm always there at the house. Y'all just don't see
Tasha
me.
Smith.
Okay.
They're my sisters.
Right. Okay? You know what I'm saying? We going through it right now. The family is...
but the show, I believe the show would still survive without Jussie. I know he probably thought he probably was a bigger star than what he was because people probably did love him.
That's unfortunate.
And sometimes we always think we're bigger than what we really are.
Yeah.
We're really not that big.
That's true. Ego.
We become a figment of our own imagination.
And he has killed his career on that show. It's a wrap.
Absolutely.
It's a wrap. There's no purpose for him to be on there. And like I said, they've done a good job of
Do you feel that situations like this make it hard for us to support our own?
It ain't helping.
When you see something like this,
it doesn't help. It's not helping.
It's Joe. I see you over there.
You want to still support your own in hopes that they're doing it right. We don't know until this stuff comes out.
Right.
And unfortunately, everybody has a closet with stuff. Some stuff we just don't know. Yeah. But I don't think this will stop me from supporting my own. I just hope that things got it right. I mean, we got behind Obama and like, no scandal. We were able to, kind of get by that a little bit. But hallelujah. True. But it gives you pause. But I think you should have that pause with anybody because it could happen to anybody. Right. We don't know. I don't think it's just a black thing. I think we may get called out a little more, or I don't know. Things may happen, but everybody has a little something. We finding that out right now.
Right.
And that's true. That's true too. We all do. So anyway, for all of you that are watching right now, we want to talk about the Facebook outage on yesterday. How many of you felt affected by it? Did you realize that you had an addiction that you did not have when you just could not get on Facebook yesterday, when you could not scroll and find out nobody's business yesterday? You could not be nosy at all. I mean, when you literally had to just mind your own business.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, so wait a minute, the only business I got today is my own.
For real.
Okay,
I can't see what nobody doing.
real.
I can't be a Facebook troll today. I can't go through nobody's pictures.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of people stuck on stupid yesterday and stuff because they was like this. Okay.
Wait a minute, I ain't got
What's
no
going
life.
on?
I live vicariously through you.
What do I do now? I wish the internet would go down one day.
I want to hear something
once.
bad about somebody so I can feel like my life is going good today.
No, right.
I ain't got no details. I didn't read about no deaths today. Nobody in the hospital. Nobody sick.
Yeah. Nobody was living their best life yesterday.
Nobody was going through talking about I'm going to pray for you today, keeping you in my prayers.
Yeah, tag 20 people. God's gonna bless you.
We didn't get none of that.
Okay.
No inbox messages.
Hey,
I
look,
just,
and
I thought
look,
I was in Facebook jail. I was like, how come I can't refresh?
Facebook
What's
jail.
going on? And then I went to Instagram and I was like, okay, but Instagram is tripping.
Facebook
So
jail.
something's going on. So I went
I
somewhere
tried
else
my
and I was
Wi-Fi.
like,
yeah, that
Oh,
was
yeah,
funny.
I thought it was my Wi-Fi.
There's a lot of people that were mad and stuff because their birthday was yesterday and they didn't get no
Oh,
shout out.
get the
that's
shout.
right.
Oh,
you get no birthday
shout
shout
outs
They
came.
didn't get no birthday shout out. There was there was no friend anniversary.
That's so right.
You know what
That's
I'm
all
saying?
right.
I mean,
Didn't see none of that.
there's some people that are traumatized right now.
That's
Stuff
right.
that yesterday,
Crushed.
stuff, if you looked up and stuff, there might have been
Crushed.
somebody
That's
on the
right.
ledge and stuff.
Yesterday went
Oh,
down to
my
people's
God.
history on
Right,
yesterday. I mean, it
right.
literally
Yeah.
marked a moment
Yes.
in their lives on yesterday. Hey, see, we were talking earlier. We were talking about we were talking about MySpace. Like some people loved MySpace, but who was involved in those? Remember them 1-900 chat rooms and stuff?
I remember the chat rooms.
Now, I have a cousin who actually met his wife in one of them chat rooms. And then went out with his girlfriend, his baby mama, in one of them chat in one of them chat rooms.
All the
How
above.
many of y'all was in them chat rooms and on those party lines?
Yeah, I
But
know-
here's the
I
thing:
never
when they
did the
started doing
MySpace.
2- and 3-way calling on the phone, then the chat lines start really
See,
popping.
But wait. I was talking to my cousin about that. See, remember back in the day, y'all, when they had the one way? It was just one. It was just the one way. Wait. Hold on, y'all. It was just one ways. And you just be on the phone because I was a talker. You just be on the phone. You just talking, right? But then your mama trying to reach you and she had to do an emergency breakthrough. How many of y'all remember the emergency
Oh,
breakthrough?
Yeah, I remember.
Big
When
time.
your parents was trying to
Yes.
reach. And that's when you knew you was in trouble because they had to pay for that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the busy
yeah.
Hey,
signal
but
was
I'll,
ringing.
Right.
I'll take
Signal.
it back even further and stuff, man. Growing up in New York and stuff, the brownstone next door to the other brownstone, we shared the phone line. We had
Ooh.
2 different phone numbers,
I hear about
but
that
the
like
phone
that.
would
Yeah.
ring and it would ring real quick on our end. That means it was their call. If it rang a couple times on our side, it was our call. But it was funny because you'd be on the
It's
phone
like a
and you'd be
switchboard.
talking, and then they could pick up the phone and be like, "Hey, I need
Whole
to use the phone."
conversation. Yeah.
Oh, now
I
that.
hated that.
That's back
So
in
I
the
just
day.
dated
Now that-
myself.
No,
I
that's
just dated
ghetto.
myself. I just dated
That-
myself. But it used to be that way. Like you go out and be like, "Oh, I gotta make a
Hey,
call."
hey,
You
Ken.
pick up the phone. And you can hear somebody.
That's
and
back in the
and
day,
it was my
bruh.
partner. I'd be like, "Hey, man, I used to use the phone. Get off the phone."
Now, my mama used to do that to me
Whoa.
because, you had that one line in, all the rooms. She'd
You
be
pick
like,
up a bit,
I
get off the
get
phone.
off the phone. I got to
Yeah,
use the phone.
yeah.
That's all embarrassing and stuff. But when it's your next door
Neighbor.
neighbor.
Yeah, but that's how it was. and
Y'all
stuff,
was
how
on
they
that
had
switchboard
it.
system
It was-
still.
yeah, it was-
That's
yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Now that's ghetto.
Yeah, but I remember, like I said, talking on the phone and stuff, and my mom called in on that
I got a
emergency, and I was
question.
like, I gotta go.
Hey, I got a question. Was it an actual phone number or just 4 numbers?
It was 4 numbers.
Oh, yeah, you dated yourself. Ooh, you dated yourself.
He said 4.
Like my mom used to say, theirs was hers. She used to tell me her number. It was like Beacon something back in the day.
Yes,
in
it
region.
was.
It was like Beacon
Yeah.
something. But wait a minute. But how many of y'all know? How many of y'all got in trouble with the 3-way? When 3-way came out, Joe, tell me a story.
Was
No,
evil.
I know I did. I remember I was in the 6th grade and I was talking to 2 girls. And so they both called. One of them was quiet, and I was just having a conversation, like doing my
See,
little thing.
I was good at that.
And the other one popped up and said, "I thought you liked me. I thought you." And so
set up.
now I'm on the phone with both of them. I don't know what to do. Game just blown.
Set
and,
up.
You know,
The best thing to do,
6th
Joe,
grade.
click.
Oh, that's what happened. That's
Yeah.
what happened because I was like,
But you know what though? But I was good. I got good hearing. My mom used to tell me, she go, "Boy, you be hearing way too well." And I that happened one time where I was on the phone
Yeah.
and I heard something on the other phone and I just got dead silent. It's like, "Are you there? Are you there?
Nope.
And I just said, click.
Yeah, I got straight busted. They got me out the game. In my youth, I'm trying to learn the game, and I was behind.
Yeah, but three-way was cool though. It was cool.
Was something else.
It was cool.
I like three-way because you could talk to a couple people on the phone. It was always nice to be able to get your conversations out when you had situations like my husband, and that wasn't cool. Now I remember I tried to bust a guy out, but he was able to hit a girl on the other line, so that kind of messed me up.
She messed it up.
She messed me up with that situation. But give us a call. What were some of the things that you were addicted to growing up? And I know today we have social media, Instagram, Snapchat, but what were some of the things that you basically would get in trouble for back in the day that they would consider now like social media?
I had my pager system going on, the pager, the pager.
Okay. Everybody had the pager with the number and stuff.
Yeah, everybody had a number so you could know who it was. That's right. Everybody had a certain code.
If that code wasn't behind the
I
number,
remember that.
you was not calling that number back. You ain't got the code. I don't know who calling from that number.
Right.
I said you didn't put the code in because hold on, wait a minute.
You had to pull
called
over and
ain't
find
no
the
code
phone.
on it. Yeah, but there was no code on it. I was like, okay, something going on.
Find
With
a
stuff.
payphone.
That might be her dad. I can't call that house.
But the thing was, that was bad back in the day with the pagers though, because you find a payphone though, but some dope dealer had that payphone sold up.
Girl, stop it. Stop.
Sitting outside. He's like, he owned that phone. That payphone was sold up.
You somebody from Richmond, y'all. That was Richmond.
Yep,
okay.
That is it.
So I'm just saying.
Look, in the Heights, DPH.
Right.
Norm's Liquor, shout out.
Lead
got real bad. You know what I'm saying? And you see it and you just know you ain't using that phone today.
Nope.
Just keep
not
it
today, not tomorrow.
Because sometimes you be in your car, you want to pull over and go make the phone call, but you see the brother posted, you just
post it at the phone booth.
You just got to go to the next one.
Don't even go by that phone.
I'm using this phone, homie. You're not even on it.
So that was it. But y'all, this is a good show tonight. Thank you for those who did call in tonight. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you tuning into Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. And do not forget, we want you to follow us. Just go to our Hot Topics Real Talk No Chaser right there on Facebook and join our Hot Topics page. And be sure to follow me on social media on Instagram at I am Lady Charmaine, Facebook, Lady Charmaine Live right over there on Facebook. And also my partners, they all got social media. Let them know where they can find you, babe.
Well, next week I won't be here because I'll be taking my son to a little sporting camp. So I won't see you guys next week.
I feel funny already.
I know. I feel funny. But I'll be here later.
Right. And Marie, where can they find you?
On Instagram, on Facebook at the Clap It Up Movement. And my Instagram page is Riri Loves You. Pretty much where I'm at. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, you're gonna be alone next week, and you're doing the show by yourself because I won't be here either. I'm sorry.
No, she won't be alone. There will be some individuals.
No,
Yeah.
we're gonna leave you alone.
I know.
And Kenny?
You are not alone.
No, I'm Rock House Entertainment. This weekend and stuff, Kings of Cali Motorcycle Club. If you're in the Bay Area in Vallejo, we have our Spring Fling party at the Elks Lodge right there on Nebraska Street in Vallejo. So if you're not doing anything, come through, grown folks. Every first Saturday of the month out at Strikes, the Kings of Promotion. Shout out to the crew.
All right. Those are party guys. Those guys party.
Well, shout out to the crew.
You know who you are.
And tomorrow I will be interviewing Adewale Ekonoye Agabaje.
Nice.
He's a star of a brand new ABC show called The Fix. So he will be here. So we were talking to him. And then later this month, I believe Bishop T.D. Jakes is going to be on the show and some others. But anyway.
Go on, girl.
Okay.
But be sure to make sure you guys follow me on social media so you'll know when they're going to be on the show. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. And we'll see you guys next Thursday. Same time, same place.